productivity growth. For which Robert Solow of MIT got a Nobel Prize. This is the key thing, whereas in India and China it is running at 35%. Most of East Asia, the estimates vary. If you go by the latest fellow, MIT professor who got the Nobel Prize, what's his name? Krugman, yeah, Krugman. Krugman says, well, it is 20%, but some people say 40%. But in any case, Krugman says that East Asia's growth was more perspiration than inspiration, whereas the American growth is more inspiration than perspiration. That is, just having more capital, more labor doesn't solve problem. I would say China would be also in the same region. Both have things. So the crucial thing is not to worry too much about this, but you need this as a part of your infrastructure, just as you need physical, human and social infrastructure. So when you are looking at economic growth, you have to look at the whole picture and not just at the question of whether you have enough money. It's not enough to have enough money. You need much more than money. So this is the first thing I would like to say. The impact is now being felt by India and China on exports. India's export growth rate has fallen, exports have fallen. The amount of exports we exported has fallen in October by 12%, by November by 12%, and probably December would be also somewhere in that region. So there has been a definite impact on it. So the first impact on both China and India is a decline in exports. This impacts India less than China. And I will, during the course of the lecture, go into the question of why exports are so crucial for China. It is the engine of growth. It's not the engine of growth for India. The engine of growth for India is domestic demand. But in China, exports are crucial, and anything that hurts exports will hurt China very, very badly in more ways than just simply loss of revenue or foreign exchange, in a fundamental way, which I'll come to a little later. Now, of course, then what will happen is, since you cannot cut imports, therefore trade gap will widen, and as a consequence, the foreign exchange reserves will also deplete. So these are the first set of impacts. The second impact that has taken place is because of the illiquidity or the liquidity crunch in Western countries, FDI flows has declined. And of course, in India, we relied heavily in the last 2 years or 3 years on foreign investment through institutions, foreign institutions, that is the portfolio money. And the portfolio money largely, almost 58% due to participatory notes, that has contracted. So our foreign exchange has reduced. Some of you should do this as a project at home as to whether we have adequate foreign reserves to begin with. We were very proud that we had $300 billion, China had almost $1 trillion. But is that enough? You've got to look at it in greater depth. First of all, out of the amount of foreign exchange India and China have, subtract